Fruity Spruce is raiding with a party of 7. Kaysh and the gang welcome you.
I was gonna wait a minute longer because I had some things I had to finish up, but I guess we're starting now. Allie, thank you for the gift sub, friendo. Fruity, thank you for the raid. Hi, hello. I haven't started. I'm starting. This is me starting now. Hi. Hello. Everything's a mess and I haven't cleaned up from this morning, and that's fine. I'm also breathing bad. Hi. That's for the raid. Thank you. Howdy, y'all. How's it going? How are we doing? I
love you, bitch. I ain't gonna never stop loving you, bitch.
I got the sound commands working. You did have problems breathing during the flopback incident. I was about to call it an accident. It was not an accident. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful incident that occurred. And it was great. Luna, thank you for the contribution and the lurk. I love you. Take care. I haven't extended that challenge just yet. So maybe I'll do that right now as we're getting settled in and getting ready. Thank you, Fruity, for the raid. I would go through the whole shtick of who I am, but I was in your stream the entire time, and I'm pretty sure every person who was there knows who I am. So hi, it's me, Kaysh. Who are you? I mean, if you want, I can go through it, but I think you know who I am. You probably can. You probably can make the community goal. Honestly, I have faith in all of you. Yeah, okay, you know what? No, we're at 61%. We have 14 days left. I thought there were fewer days on it than there actually were. Allie, Fruity, thank you for the contributions as well. Excuse me, we're at 62%. We have 14 days? Okay. If it gets into the last couple of days, and we're just shy, I might extend it by a day or two. I just know I've taken, days off that I hadn't planned for, during the challenge being up, so I wasn't entirely sure, but it seems to be okay. Also, I had to move my camera around because of the nonsense earlier. And I am not centered in frame like I should be, and that's whatever. Hi. We're gonna do some OXENFREE today, and I'm excited about that. Yeah, I'm super tired. No one's shocked. This is normal and fine. How are y'all doing? I guess I should say you've been streaming for a while, right? Right? Even if it's been 2 or 3 hours since you've been streaming. Sorry, my hair is big fluffy right now. If you need to take a break, do it. Hey, Fruity and Raiders, take a break. Get up and stretch. Maybe get a snack? Maybe drink some water. Consider? I'll be here for a long while if you want to come back and hang out. You don't gotta be here the whole time. Don't worry. But yeah, we're gonna do some OXENFREE. I don't have much to say, like, at all. Hey. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, close out of things. Yeah. should we just start? Do you think we should just start? Should we just play the game? I think we should just play the game. But also, seriously, Fruity and Raiders, y'all should take a break if you haven't recently. Because you taking care of yourself is very important to me. I'm gonna play the ding dang game. We're gonna play the ding dang game. I just have to get everything in order. All my windows were moved around, and
Alex, shut up. You got, you went bad again. I couldn't get you out of it. We should get this done now.
I saw Michael again. I'm sorry. When I'm there, I just get sucked into it like nothing happened.
I'm gonna pause for a quick second because I have forgotten to do a thing. No one is shocked. Is the game volume okay? It feels a little quiet on my end, but I can also turn that up.
Come on, it's all right. I think I can hear Ren and Nona down there.
Is that good? Right. We need to get... I think it's fine. Okay, then it's just quiet on my end. Close the time hole and save the day is our final thing. I haven't found all the anomalies, but I wasn't really trying to. We were trying to find all of... It is fine. We were trying to get all the letters, and I think the last letter is at Hardin Tower? I think we've gotten all the letters everywhere else, but we can't go back to the tower just yet because we're where we need to be for our next goal. But I think someone said last time that the game will, like, warn us when we get to the point of no return. So it should be fine. Have I checked this?
No, I just always do the poster. I mean, you get the option, right?
You guys, doing okay?
Yeah, everything went fine.
But Ren, wait, seriously. In AP English, all you had to do was make a fake book cover poster at the end of the semester?
Yeah, but the trick is you have to claim you're a kinesthetic learner. I have to make something with my hands, teacher, or...
That's good. You got Moxie. I'll have to do that next year.
Well, I don't know.
Hi, Bunno.
I kind of
Thank
maybe
you for the
ruined it for the
lurk.
rest of you since I used that excuse in like 5 classes already. So if this thing doesn't bend right, this might be like the last time any of us are us. So, I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
It's been fun.
In a really strange way.
This is a
I guess
hell of a
it
way
has.
to start
Come on,
stream.
let's take a picture. Really quick.
Ren, no.
Just
Yes.
really quick.
Picture.
Custer's Last Stand style. That Contessa who farted on her deathbed, just like who cares?
Yeah, let's do it. We're on a beach.
Not the
Kind
farts.
of. Let's keep a shred of normal here.
Okay, but
Okay, I guess.
oh,
Let's do this.
we're gonna do it right here.
Hey, if I'm not getting...
We're gonna take a picture right here.
All right.
Once we're in there, the door won't open again since the system's so convoluted.
Right.
So
Toots.
make sure you're ready to finish this before we go inside.
There's our warning that this is the point of no return. Great. So since they're going in there, let's check this.
First, we will eat and drink.
Is that working?
She doesn't know.
It's a very good warning, the way they did that. I think that's one of the ones that's bugged. I also remember that being a thing. I like it when games give you, like, a heads up that, like, you are reaching endgame. But I hate it when, like, it gives just, like, a pop-up message being like, hey, like, once you go past here, that's it. I want it to be a nice, like, I want it to be done in universe, where it's not weird, and it makes sense. I don't know. Pop-ups just feel lazy sometimes. This is not where I wanted to be. I wanted to go to Harden Tower. Although there was... It wasn't here. It was in the forest, I think. We don't have to do all the anomalies. I don't have to do all the anomalies. I definitely feel like this is one that I'll be playing again sometime, but I don't necessarily know that I'll do multiple playthroughs on stream unless y'all want that. Oh my god, sorry. I have like hiccups and burps all at the same time. Please? Okay. I guess we'll see what happens, right? What occurs? Hold on. I need to move my microphone. Sorry if that noise was awful. I have to move it again. Oh my god. Everything's in where it belongs, but in slightly incorrect areas. Because I had to move it around earlier. What was 140? I always flip the 4 and the 0.
This would fade. Without this, Papa, Lima, Alpha, Quebec, Uniform, Echo.
Without this plaque? Right here.
Oh, she was working at the tower the morning they sank.
I was on watch duty in the tower when it happened, having just gotten back from an early leave for the reading of my father's will. For years, I childishly blamed him for this, too. His one last act against me, but it was nobody's fault or decision but my own. I'm sure it was Francis Salter who sent the Kanaloa's distress signal. It had been cut off. I still don't know why, and I hastily interrupted the garbled transmission as an attempt to jam radar. And so I sent back the guidebook recommendation to scout and bomb if necessary. Oof. Oof. Okay. Also, I got an achievement. And it confirms that we got all of Adler's letters. Great. I guess... Do we want to try and find all the anomalies now? Do y'all want to find all the anomalies? I'm content with going on ahead. I'm also cool with going back and searching. I don't know if that really has, like, any bearing on the ending, though. And I think a couple of them were bugged, so... And I don't know if that's fixed? I guess we could test it now. Since we know that this one was having issues. Mama! Kitten has woken. We also might not... This might not take the full 3 hours tonight, which is fine. We can always switch over to The Last of Us.
First, we will eat and drink. And then
The island is famously named after Colonel Caleb Edwards for his glorious and triumphant slaughtering of countless families.
Oh, right, we've seen this one. Okay. I wish it, like, marked where we had seen, or, like, which anomalies we had collected. It doesn't matter. Alright, let's do it. Let's go. Time to hop on into that bunker. I've made my decision. Let's go.
Listen, Alex, I don't want to say anything to Ren or Nona, but the truth of it is I'm not feeling too awesome right now. It's kind of getting worse.
Just hang in there, Jonas, okay? I know you feel like a garbage snowman right now, but we're almost done.
No, but also hear him out. What does he
Hey,
mean
what do
he's
you
not
call a
feeling
man
great?
Who's short of time? Huh? Have you...
No clue.
Tim. You call him Tim.
Oh, brother.
Hi,
Yeah,
Sliley.
it's not one of my finest.
How's it going? We're here. We're at the end, I think.
Feels like wrong to see one of these when we're not in a time loop, right?
Yeah, it kind of does.
It's kind of spooky, right? The beds?
How are you
Thinking they would've
doing?
slept here while the rest of us burned?
Yeah, but do you think it would even have worked? Like, if Yugoslavia or whoever dropped an A-bomb on their heads, I don't know if this place would have held up.
No, I think it would have worked. There's enough tons of concrete here to keep them from mutinying out, I think.
Oh my goodness. I am so excited. I'm extremely excited to see the end of this. I'm trying to, like, not trip out too much, but also, this is extremely exciting and I need to know what's going on. I need confirmation on things. This is the wrong direction. Hold on. Can we undo the lock, please? There it is.
Wait, before...
Okay.
Look, if something happens on the other side of this door, just don't be stupid. Cut and run, okay? If I turn into dead weight or start freaking out...
Don't talk like that.
Jonas!
Nothing's going to happen. There's no way this ends like that. We won't let it.
I'm not asking, I'm telling.
OXENFREE!
Okay, Mr. Dramatic.
Hi, Sam!
Just shut up and help me with the door?
Wait, okay, you know what?
Sorry, I'm
this
sorry.
Like the 10th time we've heard this song all night. There is something going on with... Like, why would this specific tune be all over the place?
Yeah, it's probably a trick, Jonas. The ghosts know we're closing in on booting them out, and they're throwing up distractions to distract you.
Maybe you're right, but, I mean, it's ghosts. And I'm not about to throw away the possibility this is something else. I'll be fast, but it's just too strange.
Okay, I'm gonna give you some leeway here because I'd want it with Michael, so take a look.
Okay, good, thank you. It's like breaking or something. Can you
What
fix
have
it?
you done?
I mean, it's just... It sounds like it's her. Like a recording, or it's my mom. That's her voice in the static. You can hear that, right? I mean, I know you don't know what she sounded like, but you can hear that. The voice, right?
Jonas, it doesn't feel right. Something's wrong.
Wait. Is it possible? Do you think it's possible? I mean, we've been, like, talking with ghosts the entire night. Do you think it's... Like, it could be, right? It's just...
I
With
don't...
everything that's happened, she could have come here.
Jonas, I'm sorry, but I really don't think that's her. Like, really her.
Well, how would you know? And I mean, you don't know that for sure. I'm not saying I know that for sure, but from the stuff we've seen tonight...
I remember, like, our shadow self saying something about his mom, and I don't remember what it was.
So close. Can you just try and tune in the signal? This tape player thing isn't even... I have no clue what's going on, but if you could just...
I'm gonna regret this.
Yeah, because this... I don't know how to get this clearer or whatever. I just can't really get this to change, or... Mom, can you...
Jonas. Oh, I hate this. And I shouldn't have said that I could do this.
Mom?
Whoa, whoa!
Jonas, wait!
Oh, fuck.
Jonas, I need you. Come back.
Oops. Oops. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, I fucked up. Oopsies. Oh, I knew it was gonna be a mistake.
contract burned into this girl's spinal column, Alex. You shouldn't be here for our transition. Leave for the boat before we get distressed. Whatever you think you can do, you can't. We're not going back. We won't go back.
Child, meet your child.
Are we just gonna... Okay. Probably not the smartest idea I've had.
Why isn't this, like, connecting?
Because there's too many sections? Wait, I saw it. I thought I saw it. There it is. This is totally fine. That nothing... Yeah,
Jonas,
nothing matters. We lost Jonas.
Hello? Somebody there? Guess not.
Ocean. I'm glad you got food and you watched the video. We're here now. Let's go. Whoa! Hey!
You've come to close the hole, right, God? Well, you're gonna find out it's not that simple. The horses have already left the barn.
Yeah, I've come to close the hole. I've come to do what Maggie Adler tried to do 50 years ago, all right?
Okay, well, it
I'm
didn't work then. Why would it work
afraid
now?
the baby
God,
thinks
you're
people
so
can't
spoiled.
change.
You don't even know the cost of things. Closing the
I
hole
used to
with
be
your
a
stupid
piece of
toys
shit.
will spare your friends from our bloom, sure. But it will seal you up in here with us.
Okay.
You'll die with us again and again.
Well, it'd be an alright way to go if it meant saving some people you care about.
One last chance.
We did at one point.
You can leave, you know, through the gate you opened.
And we keep
The girl.
Clarissa.
You know what? That's fine.
She'll be happier with us.
Oh,
Leave.
very good. You know a good barter when you see one. Stay good.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Leaving means you've raised the white flag, child. We'll let you walk with your head and everything.
And
Clarissa stays with us.
You don't
Okay.
comprehend why this is happening, do you?
Okay, but hear me out.
Warships after us.
Clarissa fucking sucks.
The fifth column.
They didn't know it was you. Nobody, barely anybody knew. It wasn't just Maggie's fault or their fault. It was a catastrophic event.
A catastrophic event. You make it sound fated. Like some faulty appliance? We won't let it end like that.
I know there's a crewman on that submarine named Francis, and to you, to all of you, I know it was fate, okay? Sometimes things go bad. You'll never change that.
Francis. Was our name ever
Francis.
I almost remember.
My
name.
Come on, guys. Be braver than this. This is a cowardly thing you're trying to do. Be better than that.
I am.
Francis Salty. It's hard to remember certain things. Our faces went a while ago, then our names.
Our names. Our anger.
Anger is, we're afraid, all we have left. It's kind of the last stitch.
I think you should leave it behind. I don't know. I just don't think you need it anymore, if you ever did.
Scrap it.
Keep your nature. We'll keep ours. Maggie will have this friend, and you sort of remind us of her.
Strange.
Girl. Odd-tempered.
Is that her sister?
Take care. With the time you have left, child, and take notice of what you choose to.
Well. Hey, that's me. Hey, that's me. Hey, my name's above me. Hey.
Jonas, where are you? Okay, this is
Oh.
gonna be fine. Just work through it. Don't tell Michael what to do about Clarissa, okay? But Michael's dead. How could I even... Whoa, wait, what's happening?
I mean, dump Clarissa.
Hello?
For sure.
Look, is someone there? Jonas?
This is
you're
really
still there,
great.
This would be a great time to say something. Don't let Jonas talk to his mom. It's not good for him.
I don't know if that's right.
Mom's dead.
So I'm gonna be telling somebody.
How is this possible? What's going on?
That's probably bad advice, but oh well.
Wow, that could have gone better. Right. Time loop.
Michael should go to school. Don't influence Michael. Michael should go out on his own.
Just don't try and influence Michael. He can live his own life. What does this matter? He's dead. He's not here.
Thank you for the contribution, Sam. Yeah, Sam, if you're planning on playing this at all, like, you should probably not be here. As much as I love you and want you here. This is endgame. Sorry, Lamia is so loud when she eats. I love you too!
Oh, hey, I didn't even know you were home. You're always so quiet. It's like living with a little fairy tale mouse.
Wait, this is our house.
I'm not. I can't play Amnesia Spy Girl right now. Seriously, pretend to snap Ren's neck on your own time. I've been, like, struggling with this stupid speech, the graduation thing. I don't want it to be just the usual blah blah we've come so far type stuff. It should have, like, a point, right? It should bring you to your feet about something.
Sure, yeah. Give it a theme.
I'm guessing Mom probably told you about my scholarship to state, right? I don't really know how I feel about it. I mean, I feel it's not like it's a bad thing. It's a good thing, obviously.
Well, what are you thinking? Engineering? Well, you said something about sports medicine one time.
Yeah, I don't know about that anymore. It's just, it seems like half the teachers are alumni and... Actually, I'm about to be really arrogant and presumptuous and say mean things for no real reason other than I think I know better, so forget it. I've bored you enough. I'm boring me
I'm
right...
listening. Come on, I'm not gonna judge.
No, really, I'm talking out of my ass. It's fine. Listen, here's the... You can't tell Mom or Dad, but Clarissa and I are talking about just leaving. Getting an apartment somewhere and just doing our own thing.
Wow, that's exciting.
I mean, I think Clarissa's
like
a bad
huge
idea,
deal,
but
like
also...
the Boxcar Children version of getting married or
you
something.
Do you, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, I guess. It'll be a lot harder to break up, so there's some level of vow there. She's been really pushing for it, wanting to look for places, and I'm into the idea. I really am. I wouldn't feel right about it if I didn't have your, blessing first.
Michael!
So, can you just wave your hand over my head or something and say I'm alright to do this?
God, it's hard for me to say since I love you, of course, but you should do it. Totally. Even if it explodes in a nuclear war-style breakup, you'll regret never trying.
Thanks. That means a lot. Alex, just get good friends, okay? And when you're with those friends, just say yes to everything. And
I mean, not everything.
Don't
say yes to everything.
When you talk to them, it feels like you're performing. But also, stay away from girls who look you in the eye for too long. And match every beer with a water. and take classes outside of school. Classes you don't need.
Oh, come on, Michael, we already have a dad. You should know. We all live in the same house.
This is a just in case package, okay? Just in case I'm not around. And I love you, and you're amazing, and that's it. So.
Oh.
I love you too.
But soon,
Michael,
I
good
shall
brother.
be so I cannot remember any, but the things that never happened.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, she's waking up.
Hey,
Maybe don't get up immediately.
Clarissa. And Jonas.
Doing all right? Still, yourselves?
Yeah, I think we're all accounted for, right?
yeah, my arm fell asleep.
Jonas carried you here.
Yeah, he said you were heavier than you looked.
Yeah. Okay. The important thing is, whatever you did in the cave, it worked. The tear, the hole, it's fixed. The ghosts are gone.
Okay, but the sky is doing
Or at
weird
least
things.
They've stopped trying to eat our souls.
Yeah, it's important to note that.
Jonas, what happened to you in the shelter? I was so... I just saw you disappear. I didn't know what to think.
What happened?
I thought I heard my mom. And when we tried to tune into this signal, I don't know what it looked like from your end, but it was like I'd fallen into a memory with my dad. I don't know. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have set us off course or whatever.
What happened? What was it like? What'd you, do?
It was before my mom died, before she even got sick, and I don't know. It was just kind of a normal summer day, sitting in the living room watching TV with them.
Yeah, when I was under them, I dreamed about something years ago. Did anyone else? I'm sorry, but did anyone have dreams or whatever about the past when they were, taken during the night?
Yeah.
Yeah, a few.
Just the one, I think.
I saw, Michael a few times back when we were here on a kind of an accidental trip.
So Michael visited you. He crawled out from whatever netherworld swamp he's in and plucked into your head?
Maybe it's... I don't know, maybe it's like what matters to us showed up or something.
The universe doesn't care about what matters to us.
Oh my god, Clarissa, don't make me regret not leaving you behind.
No, I guess it doesn't.
I can't believe everything that happened. I feel like we should tell everyone we know. Go on a freaking book tour, but...
I think we'd sound nuts, honestly. I mean, it's not like we have any proof any of this actually happened.
Is this... Ren, didn't you lose a book?
Holy crap! This is it! Thank you! I lost it on the way.
Let me give you some
I thought
new
for sure
dialogue.
Some computer would have just tossed it overboard.
Hey, that reminds me. What were we... We were talking about something stupid right before Alex woke up.
Prom?
Prom.
I am definitely
Gross.
skipping this one. I'm deferring the crown to that wheelchair girl.
Are you going, Alex?
Are we supposed to still spike the punch or just bring in flasks? I mean, do they even have punch?
Maybe? I don't know. If the urge strikes to cut a rug in front of that one janitor who leers all the time.
Alright, you know what? It's picture time.
Oh my god, come on. Nona.
Yeah, I guess we should. Tonight's been, noteworthy.
Noteworthy. That is a way to say it.
Yeah, I'd probably say it another way.
Let's actually move outside so we can get the light.
Sure.
Let's go!
Ren, what is that book, anyway?
I don't know. I can hardly make heads or tails out of what the hell he's talking about half the time.
Here's good for the... yeah, just here.
Look. I'll just pick a random... like, this, here. When I was younger, I could remember anything, whether it happened or not. But soon, I shall be so I cannot remember any, but the things that never happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, everyone.
Wait, didn't you...
Cheese!
Before we
Concern.
left, I told my mom I was spending the night at a friend's house, and when I got back, I didn't see any reason to change that story. And you know what? I still don't. Ren always loved the town, but the island pretty much erased that in one fell swoop. He ended up going to college in California. The last time I talked to him, he was starting a band called Drunk Talk, so business as usual.
Ren, please. Even 34% of players kept Ren and Nona from dating. I mean, I didn't.
Nona, I think, is going to some ballet
mean to.
academy somewhere, but I kind of fell out of touch with her, to be honest.
Oops.
Clarissa fled to the East Coast, dropped out of college, and works at a boutique. I hear she's scared of the ocean now.
Valid. I made Clarissa hate me. Sorry.
Jonas and I are, I'll see him every Thanksgiving at least, you know, but I don't think he wants anything more than that. He goes to state so he could be close to his dad, and he loves the town. I'm happy for him.
Did I guess?
It's funny. What happened on the island used to pop into my head every single day, and then every other day. And then a week went by, and I realized I hadn't thought about it at all. I guess that's... I don't know. It's good, I think. But anyways, well, if it matters. I left town to go to school. Undeclared. I need time to figure out what I want, I guess. But
Yikes.
anyways, what time is it? Yeah, sorry, I gotta run or I'll miss the ferry. Ren's dragging me out to Edwards Island for that yearly beach party thing, and I have to pick up what's-his-name Jonas, too. I hope he's not weird or mean or something. Whatever, I'm sure it'll be fun. It's something to do, right?
Oh! Of course it's a time loop. Of course it's a time loop. That's a really clever way to, like, ease back into other playthroughs. Like, you can call it there and have it be good, but you, like, can easily pick it up and start again. Dougie Buse? What? What? That was Ghost Alex, that one time. I guess, do we want to do... I mean, I remember somebody on Twitter mentioning that I'd have to play again. And they were very good and didn't spoil anything. Do we want to do a second playthrough on stream? Smiley, since you're the professional, would you recommend me playing it again on stream to see the different things? This was very good, though. I really liked this. Like, the front of my hair is, like, tangled. It's bothering me. There we go. Okay. I mean, because, like, we could just start our second playthrough now. Because we're barely an hour into stream. Not even an hour into stream. Alright. Skip. No, I can't. Okay, that's fine. That's true. Definitely, like, less of a rush to choose your answers. I'd like to try and, like, play it a little differently as well. And if there's, like, different things that happen, that would be neat to see. I assumed there were a number of endings, especially with, like, how different the outcomes could be. The number of different outcomes that, just from, like, the little charts that we saw, are pretty interesting. Maybe this time we do abandon Clarissa with the ghosts. I don't want to be nice to Clarissa. Clarissa's not nice to me. No, we could try to be nice to Clarissa. She's caught me off guard when we first started. She was such a bitch. Listen. We didn't do nothing. Alright, let's go ahead and let's do it. Gotta continue timeline. It's now that I know like the full
base. Well, it used to be a ranching thing, then it was turned into an army thing, then it became a bird thing and a museum or whatever.
Now that I kind of know like what her deal is.
Who's Henry? Around Christmas time, this little breakfast place used to sell.
Nah, she blames us for his death.
Man, those were good. They changed the formula or whatever. And
yeah, so it's like I get why she like hates us, but also she needs to fucking work through it. Stop lashing out at us.
Hey, still with us? You haven't said anything for like 10 minutes.
Man, this is... Sorry, but this is so familiar. Like, I don't know, I feel like you've said all this before.
Well, yeah, I'm sure I've said it to you before, but it's new to Jonas, and he's downright enraptured, right?
Huh?
Right. So you want
not really.
Do your math. We'll be here when you get back.
And how did her mom meet your dad exactly?
They met on vacation in
Hey, we're gonna be BFFs with Jonas.
You know, actually, I'm not even gonna tell this story.
I can message Sam right now. I'm gonna do it right now. I've done it. I've messaged Sam.
It's really not worth it.
Okay.
No, wait, what happened? I feel like I haven't heard this.
He got lost in some gardens and he thought she worked there and blah blah blah, they hit it off.
Aw, that's downright adorable. And you guys just met tonight?
Okay,
Yeah,
we're gonna get Ren and Nona to hook up. We're gonna be super BFFs with welcome back, Sam.
Second cousin? I don't know.
He's my stepbrother.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was even a thing. Well, at least you seem cool, right? Cool guy, cool hat. You get a cool new sibling living right in your house, sharing your toothbrush, wearing your clothes.
Yeah, no, it's a nice perk, I guess. Unless you're like
Thank Allie. She reminded me to message you.
So, how do you two know each other?
Oh, from way back when, like Paleozoic, grade school era. Young enough that I've seen her in a bathtub and it wasn't sexual at all. I mean, we both looked like little skinned potato blobs.
Yeah, well, you don't see a man's toddler penis and not become best friends after that.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex, please.
Bond stronger than oak.
Oh my
Check
goodness.
under your seat to make sure you don't leave behind any grandchildren.
And hear more about the fascinating events of this landmark, yeah. Strange the things that stick to your brain, you know?
Have you guys
Love you too.
Done this a lot?
Not spend the night, no, but visit, yeah. I mean, since we were wee ones. Oh, we should get a quick picture. All of us.
Let's go.
This will be like
great.
Let's do it.
And it's Jonas, not Jonah.
We're gonna be super agreeable. We're gonna try and get Ren and Nona to get together.
Right, patient zero, AIDS guy.
It's,
and...
Right? Or is that the lion guy?
I think every name's biblical, so probably.
Here's good.
Yeah, we're gonna get everyone to be best friends.
There, great.
And we're gonna be really nice to Clarissa, even though she's kind of a bitch.
Hey, Alex, you brought the radio, right? The little portable one?
Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
Got
Can
it.
you pull it out a second? There's the little guy. Our high school has a radio station, and Carly, she's a friend of ours. She's filling in because Reggie got mono from some track runner or something. It doesn't matter. What matters is that she's gonna say something like, basically, right now, about our thing. So, tune it to 88.3 so I can tell her we heard it.
88.3.
Which I played because that song's been stuck in my head since I woke up this morning. But, actually, it's after 10 o'clock, which means my dear friend and his buddy...
We are playing through again. We finished it. And apparently there are different things if you play through again, and we're also making different decisions.
Hello? Hello? Anybody out there?
So you're seeing it from the beginning, basically. It's gonna be great.
That's awesome. I hope Christina, with her talent show judge face, was listening.
Did you guys hear that last
Like that.
part?
That's
What part?
different. Toot
We must
toot!
be getting close. There's no radio reception on the island. I'm glad I got to hear it before it went totally kaput.
If we can't use it, why'd you bring it? Not just for the boat.
No.
We already getting
You'll
spooky
see.
static?
I don't expect too much, but nah, it'll be fun. I won't undercook it. You'll see.
Will it do the static if I make a different choice? I wonder. Best friends!
Smell that clean air, boys and girls. Boy and girl. This ain't city living.
Yeah, anybody need a smoke? I have a full pack.
No thanks. I mean, I literally just said the clean air thing, so...
Alex, you can bum one off me if you're empty. I forget if you're a fellow addict.
Oh, no thanks. I don't smoke. The last time I had one, it didn't go well.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what coughing with your whole body meant until I saw you dry heaving.
Okay, just checking.
Alright, my other friend should be up and around the bend.
Actually, I don't mean to be the guy to break us up already, but Ren, can you do me a favor? Can I have like 2 real quick minutes with Alex for a second? And you can run up and meet your friends?
Really?
No, Jonas, I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say, and it's fine. Yeah, it's weird us living together now, but it's okay. Let's just meet up with our friends.
Oh, okay, sure.
Okay, speed read definition of Edwards Island. This is a tourist trap with shops and a beach. Nobody lives here except for some geriatric named Mrs. Adler. But
That's a good
as my
question.
witness, we'll never
I
mention her or any other old person's
don't
name
know.
again.
I don't think
They're
so.
here to drink and be stupid. A tradition apparently started by bored recruits in the 1950s.
Uncertain.
Who would sneak dates over from the
Cannot
coastal
confirm.
towns. They literally called it trawling.
Wow, that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like kids at camp or whatever. So, to summarize, we are not allowed here after dark. The town is shut down, and we, the Kamina High junior class, have come to commit improper acts.
Improper acts. Right?
Yeah, basically.
Improper acts? What does that even mean? Soaping windows?
Yeah, I don't think that'll get us tossed in the stockade.
No. But maybe the fact that I brought a whole crap ton of drugs
Possibly Michigan. I know that they mentioned...
Yeah,
I mean, they said that Clarissa, went off east.
I've been looking forward to this for a really
When,
long time,
at the very end,
leaving the fun
so...
part of this to chance.
I'd
That's
imagine
all. And the other
Michigan
thing
or... I
is
mean,
the
I guess
weirdo
maybe
caves.
Maine?
Weirdo caves?
Oh.
The whole reason Alex brought her radio is because when you go to the... It's like the front.
The mouth?
The mouth of this particular cave, you can sometimes
Ren,
pick up
you're an idiot and I
frequencies
love you.
to stations that don't exist. You'll hear voices or just sounds.
No way, come on.
Alex has always been an devout skeptic, even though the 4th grade field trip proved it without a shadow of a doubt.
I wasn't even there. I couldn't go, remember?
The beaten path officially ends here.
Always
The
keeps
beaten path
talking.
fence. I
He'll
think Jerry
never
told me that
stop
there's a way that
talking.
we used to get over there, but I'm blanking on what it was. But it's not. I mean, it can't be too difficult.
Perfect.
Well, just
I think the dumpster will get us over
Okay,
if it'll
let's
budge.
Well,
push the thing.
Let's try it. So, back up a second. Who's Mrs. Adler?
her family. I
The way Jonas was like...
the island or something. She's been checking the same spot for like 70 years. She's kind
Oh
of
no, not exploding laptop! Well, welcome in, Angry. Thank you for the the manual raid.
And smelling the ocean.
You'd be okay with never leaving. Never leaving.
Oh.
Just there. All the time.
Well, if it's on an island, then yeah.
Have you...
Monkey butlers,
Has your...
lobster wives.
Has
It's
your
a dream.
laptop
What was I thinking?
recovered?
Lobster wives. It's the dream. Jonah.
Thank you, Annie. Well, Hopefully they'll we'll see
Before
him.
we get there, I should probably mention that.
Oh,
who's that? There's this girl, Nona. She's just this girl, and I'm totally into her, and I want her to be into me. So just, just be cool, okay? No pouting or complaining or anything, all right? Deal?
Ren, relax.
Oh, what was the thing you wanted to say to Alex, Jonas? You can just pretend I'm like a stray dog and can't understand.
Just leave it alone, Ren, all right? You don't have to hear everything.
I don't have to hear everything, but I want to hear everything.
It's not
Ren.
a big deal, really. Just forget about it.
Ren, I need you to stop being you for 2 seconds. I know I said I loved you, but also...
Hey, guys.
Wait, I was about to tell a story. What was it?
About Brad's car?
Oh, well, that can wait.
You coming, Jonas?
We started a fire down the way, but Nona wanted to play beach nanny, so...
Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
And Jonas, that's...
Who are you?
Jonas.
That's Jonas. He's Alex's new in town, fresh as a daisy stepbrother.
Ren is so close to him.
Yeah, I know. It's a trip, right?
Yeah, he's a cool guy from cool North Valley, so let's all try and show him a good time.
Just the beach and some beer will be enough, I'm sure.
No Kip!
You're Jonas.
No Kip!
Jonas, the stepbrother.
Yeah. What's your name again?
That is Clarissa.
How
but
are
she's...
you her stepbrother? Like, what does that even mean?
Her mom is marrying my dad, so,
Not the mouth
Yeah, well,
breathing.
I guess this is happening now. This is a thing that is happening, so... Where's
Clarissa,
everyone
chill.
else?
Nicole had that tennis thing.
And?
Clarissa, we...
Fuck! I keep missing
We
choices.
took the last
It's fine.
ferry. I thought more would show up, but...
Sweet
Oh
precious
my God,
baby,
it's
though.
just Alex and her new stepbrother?
Clarissa,
That's who you
stop.
brought. That's the group.
Come on, Clarissa. I'm fun. I'm hip. I'm with it.
Alex.
Listen to yourself.
Wait, aren't you all, like, friends?
I'm friends with Nona, and I'm downgrading Ren to, like, a creepy neighbor. And you I just met.
Yeah.
Hey, what about me?
What about you?
Never mind. Some of those options go by so fast that even when I try and click them, it doesn't, like, register, and that's kind of obnoxious. Still a little obnoxious, but that's fine. I'm pushing Nona, and I should stop. Oh, excuse me. Pet the baby for me, Sam. Pet both the babies for me. Love all the internet cats. I'm gonna get Clarissa. I'm gonna get her. She can't get away from me. Okay, maybe she can get away from me. Got her. Let's go to the beach. Let's go to the beach. Beach. Nicki Minaj. I don't know how to be nice to Clarissa is part of the issue.
Man's great equalizer.
So, what's the, like, thing to do here? Other than, obviously, go skinny dipping and get murdered by Jason Kruger.
Yeah, I think it's just whatever. We should explore the island. I mean, if this is pretty much a one-time thing, we shouldn't waste it.
I am indifferent to her loving me. Alex wants her to love her.
Adler?
Yeah.
Nowhere. She's dead.
What?
We all know where I
Killed
stand
over
with
3 days
Clarissa, and I
ago. It was
fucking
all over
hate
the
her.
news. Local news, anyway. Oldest living resident.
Oh, that's sort of a bummer.
Yeah, well, we all gotta go sometime. In her case, later than sooner. And to answer your previous question, Jonas, the thing to do is lay on the beach.
No,
and drink
Alex
till you
doesn't
can't remember
like
where
her.
you are.
So,
And
Clarissa
sometimes play true to
dated
Yeah,
Alex's
we can inaugurate
brother
Jonas. Ease him into the night's festivities.
Oh, yeah. I haven't played this
before
in
he
ages,
died.
I think. But it's fun.
And
Let's do it.
Clarissa blames
Okay,
Alex
so,
for him
first,
dying.
we're
I'll
gonna-
start. Ren,
Which is
come
why
on,
she's
fess
such a
up.
bitch to
You wanna
her.
rock Nona, right?
Clarissa!
Wait. I want to hear
Okay, that's... Clarissa, you know what? Ask me something instead. Anything you want.
You'll get your turn after Reginald
Yeah.
answers the question.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Look, it's tough to gauge. Something like...
Enough stalling. I know you want to sample the goods. Now
No.
just stay
Clarissa,
silent.
please.
I like her as a friend, right? I just like her as a friend. That's all. She's cool. She's...
Let's ease off the throttle for the next
It's
one.
probably
okay,
not the
Clarissa?
options that I should have
Yeah.
done there, but oh well.
This game isn't any fun if you don't get a stomach ache.
Okay, it's Ren's turn, right? He gets to ask somebody something.
Alex!
Uh-oh.
I just have to think about which nerve I want to so delicately pinch.
Ooh.
Oh, please. Shoot, I can take
It's okay, Smiley Sam is here.
Mary Screw Kill. Me, Nona, and Clarissa.
Why?
It's fun. It's funny. I don't know.
Well, I'd marry Nona. I like the quiet types.
I'm flattered, I think.
Okay, we're going down the line.
Clarissa, obviously.
Obviously. You're not going to call her out on that?
No, I believe her. I mean, look at me.
And wait, that means you kill me? Out of everyone here, you're
Hey, you wanted to know.
and I'm the only guy. This is Miss Andrew. Miss Andrew, I said.
Okay,
Ren,
settle down.
please. Ren, please.
So, Alex's turn?
Yep, lady's choice. Alex gets to pick who to ask something of.
Oh, great. Here we go. What's your favorite
Clarissa.
Oh, boy.
Yes, Mum?
This is pretty fun just watching, I'll admit.
Well, wait.
If someone were to ask you to describe me, what would you say?
Wow. Really swinging for the fences here.
I'd tell them you were an average girl with common thoughts.
Wow.
Why don't you say what you really think?
Well, I don't know what I was expecting, so... Okay?
Clarissa's turn now.
Alex, you got a new brother. Pretty exciting. I'm sure Jonas is excited, or maybe excited isn't the right word. Maybe a little overwhelmed with just
gonna do
everything,
this.
you know?
We're gonna
I'm
do this
sure
already.
It's a lot to take in and adjust to.
He, seems okay, right? You're okay.
Yeah, but, thanks, I guess.
I'm just saying what Jonas is already thinking. That statistics show if you get divorced once,
Clarissa,
you're probably gonna
please,
get
you're making it
divorced
very
again.
hard.
And the fact is, your mom divorced your dad. So let's put his mind at ease and hear why.
I don't really need...
What are you talking about? What does this have to do with anything?
Why'd your parents get a divorce? Just so Jonas can hear it from you.
Clarissa, I don't really care why they got a divorce.
You know why. Michael died, and it broke everything, and they couldn't handle it. The end.
Well, now you know, Jonas. Don't die and everything will be fine.
Okay, Clarissa, you...
What?
Clarissa, that's
You know,
not
guys,
great.
honestly, I think I'm pretty much ready to do anything else besides this game.
Wait, let's not stop like
We
this.
played it for
Game's
all of
over,
like
man.
3
I won.
minutes.
And to celebrate, I'm gonna sit on the beach and drink, and maybe, if I'm feeling spicy, even take a nap.
Maybe we could
And that's exactly what Nona's gonna do too.
Fine. Whatever. Be Miss Pouty on the beach all night if you want. I'm not gonna let you ruin this for me.
I appreciate your permission to be pouty. Thank you.
Cheese!
If you guys in your scavenger hunt or playing Ring Around the Rosie happen to find
Nona took a
anything more
picture!
interesting than
That's
a
different.
slowly dying starfish,
I don't
you be
think she
sure
did
to
that
just
last
let
time.
me know.
Super.
Sure, we'll grab ya if we find any,
Island Bigfoots?
island Bigfoots. Exactly.
Not the island Bigfoots.
Well, I want to inaugurate this bitch by checking out the caves. Nona, want to come?
I mean, I would.
I'm very clingy, Ren.
Fine. Jonas, you're a strapping young lad. Help boost
Throw the
your
rock.
defense. The cave's just, yonder.
And I guess you expect me to just jump over after?
But like I said, you're a strapping young lad.
Honestly, sitting on the beach
Okay,
with a drink
come on.
sounds wonderful right now.
Where are you from again?
Would love to.
It's a small town near North Valley.
Oh, yeah. Is it nice?
If you like bars on the windows.
What would happen if I stayed here?
Alex, you want to check out the caves, or...?
In a sec, okay?
Yeah, just let me know.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot. We never talked about John.
Oh, what, their date?
Yeah, they went to that weird carnival.
How do you even get Jenny out of the house?
I don't know.
Thanks for making the fire.
Yeah, sure. Gotta put those Owl Scout lessons to use.
You know, Ren.
We're just
he's
gonna
like,
we're gonna get
kinda,
him.
like totally into you.
Yeah, no crap. The guy was practically humping her leg when he asked her to this. It's not a big secret.
Nona, Ren's a great guy, and there's no pressure or anything, but I just want to put in a good word for him, for whatever it's worth.
Look, Alex, Ren seems nice, and I know he's your friend and, you know, whatever, but I'm just not in the mood for something right now. So if you could just, like, tell him that, just so he, like, doesn't get his hopes up or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, sure thing.
Thanks.
I can respect that.
You look relaxed.
I am relaxed.
Are you alright? Did something happen today or something?
Oh, I probably should have.
Happens every day.
Okay. I don't want to be, like, super forward about it, but I probably should have been.
Island living, huh?
This is fine.
Yep.
Look, I'm sorry about all that drama over nothing.
No, nah, it's fine. How are you doing?
Fine. I've known Clarissa
I
long
really
enough
love that I don't know what
to go
beach
really
scene
deep
you're
into her
talking
bag of
about.
tricks to tick me off.
This is great for me.
Good. I didn't realize our cell phones wouldn't work on the island. Kind of promised my dad I'd call him. He never used to be this, needy, but since my mom died, he's kind of shortened the leash on me a bit. He's gonna be kind of pissed. Not a good way to start the move, huh?
Yeah, I should have warned you. The technology here, I think they just got, like, mechanical pens, so...
Oh, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna write him a text, so in case I wander into a couple of bars or something, he might get it.
Okay. Let's go to the cave.
This thing and check in with Ren.
All right, let's do it.
It's not gonna happen. Sam, I love you
I'll push you
so much. I'll never watch Twilight. Not ever. Not even once.
So, hey, what's your bets? On a scale of 1 to 10, how weird's it gonna be?
10. Super
Ren,
weird.
So definitely 10. He gets excited easily, but he
I'll
has
keep
the
it in
concentration of a
mind.
goldfish. The fact that he keeps demanding we see it must mean something.
All right.
Hey, Chris.
I'll watch just about anything else with you, though. Without human money being involved.
Yeah, Ren, about Nona.
What? Did she say anything? Because if she said anything, you should tell me. Like, word for word.
I've already
Maybe you
ruined this, but that's okay.
Just give her a little space.
It's
you
fine.
know?
No!
I thought
Nope.
you girls liked
Not
to be
even if it's a
pursued.
drinking game. I'll never watch Twilight.
Yeah, I agree.
Oops,
I mean,
I didn't-
what do you got to lose, right?
Oh, all right.
Oh,
I see where your head's at.
missed
Now,
that.
who's ready to have their minds blown?
If you don't mean that literally, I am...
Me.
Oh, wait. Actually, I almost forgot. Gonna take a little magic trip to Cupcake Town.
Those look like
true.
brownies.
Brown.
Oh, you're the only one? Gimme.
Oh, no.
It's true.
These
I
are
got those
just for
boundaries
me.
down
I've been
pat.
waiting a long time for this.
Once they
Yeah,
are set, you are
maybe
not
it's
getting
best
past
he's
them.
the test balloon for this anyway.
Yeah, but that's because you like trash things, Pretty.
Delicious. Okay, so see these little piles of rocks? The kids before us always leave them here so you know where to try and tune in the signals.
I've
So
never
you're gonna
seen
wanna
it,
stand basically
and
right
I-
around here. And just
and
turn the dial
I
left or right until you
Never
start
tried
hearing some
reading them. I
weirdness.
didn't care to. No one's shocked by this.
How will we
Only
know
sometimes,
when
Smiley.
it's-
You'll know.
Listen.
Trust me.
Only sometimes. Also, doesn't list off the anomalies yet. That's unfortunate. Good! You watch Twilight, and you enjoy it, Smiley. It's not for me. Here's the Morse code. Not the blue teeth.
Wow, it's even cooler than I thought it would be. This is insane.
How is this possible?
How can this be possible?
Maybe the tuning's like unblocking a weather balloon or something?
Doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's just crazy, then, because I don't know. If you move around, it kind of changes, too, I think. Like, over at this pile. Come over here and try.
Y'all should plan a Twilight party together sometime.
This is so cool.
Is the Morse code just SOS?
Clarissa and Nona should see this, right? I mean, I know it's like weird with you guys or whatever for some reason, but
they're fine where they are.
Okay, just what is Clarissa's issue with you two?
She dated my brother.
For 5 seconds, like 3 years ago.
It was for a couple of months, a year and a half ago.
Whatever. She never liked me. Not even then.
I guess silence is an option, isn't it?
Who she had to climb in through windows to sneak around.
Clarissa's the kind of person who doesn't feel full unless she's.
Would I watch a
pissed at someone,
parody of
so-
Twilight? Probably not.
Brownies are good. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it did to me.
Okay, good. Now, there's another cool spot, I think, over here.
Just anything Twilight. It's just not, it's not for me. Even parodies, because I don't think you can parody something that's as ridiculous as Twilight. It would basically just be like watching Twilight. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged situation.
I'm just gonna go with blood.
No, I hit pain, but I hit it, I clicked it.
What was that?
Where it's like, the abridged version isn't, it's not any more ridiculous than the actual show. It really is just abridged.
No, I see it too.
I'm sure there is something in there, like a giant.
No, I'm not saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged is bad. I'm not even saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Is bad. Yu-Gi-Oh's bad, but in like the best possible way.
Like a freshwater one.
But it would still be like.
Let's check it out. It's
I
not
did.
that far
I
in.
did. Yeah,
If
wait.
it's a pool, that'd be cool.
But I'm just saying that a parody of Twilight would basically just be Twilight.
Fortune
And that's
favors the
like me
bold.
watching Twilight, and I'm not.
Bye. That was enough.
Don't.
I'm not gonna
Well,
watch
I am
Twilight.
Going to just rest against here because I think I mismeasured the magic.
Yeah, you do that.
Do what?
Ren,
Shona Fana.
forget it.
Ren, you've done it bad. Anyway, that's my rant about Twilight. Hold on, while this is doing, I have to switch windows real fast. Don't mind me. This is fine. Everything is fine. Okay. I had moved something on my desktop and I needed to fix it. Why does Ren look like this? What a goober. Also, I might need to get more water. Yeah, that's my rant about Twilight.
Jonas.
I don't know. I feel like never mind. That's not the end of my Twilight rant. I feel like Twilight is like the epitome of trashy teen romance novel, which is so on the far side of not who I am. Or anything that I like, even as a joke, that I just can't. And it's like, you know what, if you're into that, even as a joke, or not, even not as a joke, that's fine. Enjoy what you enjoy. It's just not for me. At all.
Jonas, seriously, where are you?
So yeah. That's what I have to say on that. And that is it. I think I also just resent Twilight for bringing 50 Shades of Grey into existence. And while that's not inherently Twilight's fault,
Why would a guy bring an ashtray down there?
it still did encourage its existence, and I'm not there for that. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, like, it's gross. That's gross. And we don't approve of that.
See a man about a dog. Sure, will do.
Are
you
okay?
Jesus, you scared me.
What are you even doing?
I'm sorry for going ahead.
But no, again, it does go back to just like a, like whatever you like. That's fine. This also ties into the conversation we had the other day of like, you can even like potentially like problematic stuff as long as you are open to criticism about it and know why it's problematic.
See? That's what I heard.
But yeah, it's not
It
for me.
sounds like a person almost, right? Kinda? I don't know where it's coming from.
Maybe it is someone. You ever think of that? Maybe it's the crazy guy who lives here and he's gonna eat out our stomachs.
Well, where is he then? In which of
Why
these
is he eating
tiny
our
air
stomachs?
holes does he hibernate? There was a light in here somewhere. I still want to see what made it. It must just be further in. Let's try and find it before we go back.
Can we just go, please? I really don't like it here.
Yeah, okay, we can go. Lead the way.
Wait, can we actually just leave?
Thank you.
Can we actually just leave? Also, I can 100% see that, Sam. Cause, like, we technically didn't open up the portal, did we? We just tuned into the spooky rocks. Ooh, but we didn't open up the Triangle of Doom. Jonas is slowly but surely coming after us. Okay. Are you... I feel like if I don't look at him, or if I, like, lose sight of him for just a minute, he's just gonna disappear. And that scares me. I want to make sure that Jonas is okay. Hey. Okay. She wasn't grabbing the wall for a second. And that wasn't ideal. I mean, we could try that at some point. Or consider you get the game and you try it. It's just me trying to get everyone to purchase these dang games that I play. Remember, support the devs. People make cool games sometimes.
This can't be the way we came in, right? We must have doubled back the wrong way somehow.
Oh my god. This is the way we came in.
Alex, come on, that's not possible. It's just wall. Where's the crack we crawled through?
There's no other... This is it, Jonas. This is the way. If it's not here, then where? We didn't miss it.
I don't know where it is. I have
This
no
is
idea.
extremely rude of these ghosts.
Let's just go back the other way. We got in. There has to be a way out.
Sure.
This is extremely rude of these ghosts. I don't want these ghosts to come in and tell me.
Sure thing, will do.
Like this last time that we played, the ghosts were like, oh, it was all your fault. You just willingly came in here and did this, and you chose to do this. And it's like, actually no. Looking back on it, you trapped me here. You made me do this. These ghosts are terrible. Extremely rude ghosts. Okay, Jonas, I now don't care if you're back there. We're trapped in these caves. There's nothing we can do. I would love to know, though, if there is a way to, like... I mean, look, trying to find a way to just not play the game is, like, one of my favorite things to do. Specifically, like, with, like, indie horror games. A lot of times they'll, like, put in a way where, like, if you just, like, end up in a weird haunted house, they'll be like, I have to look through here, but sometimes you can just turn around and, like, exit through the door, and you get, like, the coward's ending or whatever. I like trying to find those. I want to know if the game will let me end the game early. Like, I need to know. I have to know. Can I just not play? The answer is no. I have to play Oxenfree.
Junk in here, right?
It's the same everywhere. There's no other
Also,
I know.
there's a radio. Like a radio board this time.
I wish this was a door.
Yeah, me too.
Graffiti. Graffiti.
Saw the man, not the dog. What the crap does that mean?
A guy who can't see dogs?
Did you see the first half?
See a man about a dog? Yeah, I don't get it either.
Because this wasn't here last time, right?
Oh, it's like on.
Oh.
That's... Okay, but anyways, I was going to say that it looks like an intercom or something.
Yeah, I don't know. Just say something into it. See what happens. Well, maybe there's speakers somewhere, or they'll hear it outside.
Hey, Ren. No.
I love you, Sam. Thank you for stopping in and saying hi.
In case you can't recognize my...
Take care of yourself.
Maybe there's speakers somewhere, or they'll hear it outside.
Sleepy time, gal.
Is that a recording or something?
I know they want me to tune in, but again, I want to see if there's a way for me to just not. Can I open this?
I guess it's locked.
Yeah, I already tried.
Yeah, well, maybe you didn't try hard enough, Jonas. I mean, it's not really giving me any other options of things I can do. So... I'm not planning on walking all the way back. I just want to see if it'll let me leave this section, and it will. Good to know. Also, triangle. In the top left, that little section of light forms a triangle. Okay. Well, we have to tune in.
Is this you? Are you doing this? Wait, why did you stop?
We don't even know what that thing is.
Yeah, exactly. Let's find out.
Jonas.
I can't even, like, what's...
Is it what?
Oh?
Jonas?
It's
you again.
Yeah, it's me again.
you'll
Give
struggle to
live to
escape
eventually. This
story.
Me again? What do you mean?
I like this.
she's
They won't
help other you
can't
help
These machines? What machines?
I love this
The
so
speakers
much.
there? What does that have to do with anything?
The waves.
It's the waves, we think.
Transmitters lead through so other Alex
Can hear.
but it won't change
Anything.
Fine. Another round.
If
You like. Listen. Bobtail. Shadetail. Sleepy. Time now. Is possible.
Maybe, but I don't really.
Bobtail. Leave. Children. Bye. Others. See them soon.
Alex!
Jonas!
There's the ship exploding. It is cool having, like, context for things that are happening now that we've, like, gone through. I really like games like that. Where, like, the first time through, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And then you go through again, and you're like, oh. Oh!
Alex!
Hello, I'm here.
Alex? Are you okay?
Very good game.
You alright? I thought you were...
I'm fine. God.
You sure?
I'm as sure as I think I'm gonna be.
I don't know how we got here. I heard the thing right? That voice or whatever saying other you, right? What does that even mean?
The only thing I can think that means is, like, parallel worlds, parallel times, alternate somethings. I don't know. I mean, I'm probably nuts, but it sounded almost like they were saying someone before had tried talking to themselves to change things.
Look, I'm just gonna cut to the whatever. Like, I don't know exactly what happened back there, but the sign says that's an old communications tower, and I don't know about you,
Like
but
how
I
he's
wanna
just
climb that
going
ladder,
up.
call somebody, and get the hell back home as fast as possible. I don't want to be the party pooper here, but the party just kind of
We
pooped.
can't leave without my friends, okay?
You're... Ren, sure, but does that list really include Clarissa?
Yes,
I'm not saying
unfortunately.
leave her, but...
Yes, Jonas. Clarissa's my friend too.
Okay. Oh, and not for nothing.
I
I'm
hate
fine with a
saying
little
that, but
de-pantsing
yes.
or whatever if the weather's right for it. But if this is some sort of prank or trick, I'm really, really not in the mood. So...
Jonas, believe me, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm not that cruel.
Okay, well, I hope so.
Harden Tower.
Oh, he was still talking.
Oh, it's called
It's
that,
fine.
I think, because the radio man who watched it, he was Major Richard Harden. I don't know why I remember that.
Wait, the guy's name was Major Dick Harden?
Uh-huh.
Yep. It almost makes the whole trip worth it, doesn't it?
I wouldn't go that far.
Also, we'll probably take a break here once we get to the top of the tower. I need to put some nonsense on my shoulder. I fucked it up the other day just by existing, and that kind of sucked. And it is hurting like a motherfucker right now. Plus I should also pee and get more water. So maybe we'll actually pause right here before we do anything. Yeah. No, so I may have dislocated my shoulder the other day. Just from rolling over in bed. Oops. Or maybe I just moved it wrong. I don't remember when it happened. It just wasn't ideal. I got it back in the socket. It's fine, but it hurts. So, I'm gonna go tend to that real fast. And also use the restroom, get some more water. Y'all should do the same. Grab a snack. Refill your water. Do a quick stretch if you haven't. Probably turn on some music for y'all. I'm gonna take care of myself. We're doing it. we're doing the self-care stuff. But yeah, we will be right back. Okay. I'm back. I have stuff on my shoulder. I have more water. I even brought the whole dang bottle over here so I could refill as I needed. Excuse you, bottle. It's making terrible, awful noises. Thank you, Emmy, for doing the shout-outs. Nem and Emmy, thank you for the contributions for the alien stream. Also, TK, hi! Hi, friend, how are you doing? Welcome in, friendos! I'm gonna turn off the Hades music as much as we love it. Let's get back into it.
I can see the cave, but not Ren or anybody.
Glad you're doing well.
Probably the
same thing as
us. Transmogrified.
Hopefully,
whatever
it's
to some
been
other part of the
a couple of
island.
days of just annoyance with it. Just gotta be nice to it. Tend to it a little bit. Stretch it a little bit, but not too much.
It's locked.
Let me try.
I don't know.
Oh, after you.
Oh, why,
Yeah.
thank you.
I would be more concerned about it
What are you even doing?
if I didn't have a doctor's
Have a
appointment next
little
week.
faith.
So even if it doesn't necessarily get better in the next couple of days, at least I have an appointment coming up. Are you gonna take forever, Jonas? You do it?
See?
My hero! No,
That'll
good job.
do, pig. That'll do.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Rating.
How
Machinery.
does this thing...
Generator.
Warning, do not use aboard ship. Unsafe radiation limits.
You know, I'd normally find this stuff kinda interesting, really. You know.
Hi, Devo.
Thanks, I guess.
Come here.
Fence should be off now.
Great, but, don't take offense if I want to throw a stick at it first.
Offense.
Come on, don't you trust me?
Offense.
The light turned off.
I trust you to, like, not
Nope,
hurt
he just
me
wants
on
to show me
purpose
his
or
butt.
anything, but, you know, if the fence kills me on accident, it's not really about
No,
trust
come
at that
here.
point.
Come in. Sir. Come say hello. Nope. Just wants to show me his butt. It's butt time. Listen. You could come up here. I could even pet you.
Hey, we need help. We're stuck on Edwards Island
Come
in
on.
the communications tower. It's
Hi, stars.
dead.
That's okay. We might do more art
you get
streams
anyone?
sometime. I had fun with it.
It almost sounded
Excuse
like
you. You're not allowed on the desk.
right?
I don't know. I didn't really
Look.
hear it.
It is boy. It is boy. It is Devo boy. Are you gonna actually lay down? How you doing? Yeah? Good lad.
There's a dial tone, but there's
It is
a
good
note
boy.
here. Does
He's
not
very good
call out.
at staying
Please
still
dial
now.
station code for service.
Okay, maybe not very
Wouldn't happen
good,
to be
but
a
much
code
better.
there, would there?
Nope. This is Devo, and he's a sweet boy.
Jesus.
And he loves us so very much. Here he goes.
Hello?
Alex?
Hi, Ren.
Alex, is that you?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, Jesus, hopping Christ! Thank Vishnu. You guys went into that hole and a bunch of stuff. I have no idea what happened. I just woke
Yeah,
up like
welcome
15
in,
minutes
stars.
ago. I saw the light on in the tower thing.
Like I said, I might do more art streams sometime.
Harden.
Ren, it's been a rough night.
Dick
you know?
Harden.
How'd you get this number?
It's a code written on this list here. But it's not a normal phone. I can't call out. I'm at the way station or whatever in the woods. It's been like just the worst thing ever. Just
Ren, are you all right? Like physically all right? Because I know mentally you're
No,
probably.
I'm not all right. I mean, do I sound all right or do I sound not all right? I probably sound not all right, right?
Wait,
Don't
I
gotta
think
watch the
that's the other
VOD.
line. Maybe it's like a night watchman or something, or they do
Wait,
like...
Ren, someone's calling on the other line. Just hold on a minute.
But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Okay,
and
but make it quick, seriously.
people seem to like it. So.
Hello?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Alex? Why are you answering it? It says it's an emergency line. Where are you right now?
Clarissa?
And Jonas is with you.
Okay, look, Clarissa. Ren's on the other line and sounding like he's about a stub toe away from a total collapse, so if you're at least holding it together,
Wait,
And that's a raw fact.
I don't remember, like, the last hour, and it's, like, really scaring the crap out of
I'm
me.
glad everyone likes
I'm trying
Kayshurrr.
to call somebody, but I'm in a room with radio and stuff. It says it can contact Kamina, but I have no idea how to make it work. Can you just come over here and figure this out with me? I don't care.
Yeah, sure. We'll be over there in a minute.
Okay, just hurry, okay? There's like, I don't know, I'm hearing stuff outside.
Fort Milner looked huge on the map. Do you know where the...
Do you think...
And it dies, ladies and gentlemen.
Ren, are you still there?
I was gonna say, that's, I think we're gonna try and rescue Clarissa first this time. And then go
we
for...
told Clarissa we're coming, so want to
Go
truck
for
over
Ren?
to Milner first, see about that radio? I mean, Clarissa can be a handful, but...
Yeah. If we can connect to the mainland and get somebody over here...
Just since we tried to go for Ren first last time. Okay, yeah. No, I understand.
Alright, our rescuing duties have officially commenced. Let's get this done and get off this rock like the badasses we are.
Yeah. Righteous.
We'll probably get there. Oh, hi, Bo. And then end. I just got really tired. Very suddenly. So we might make tonight's stream just a smidge short. We'll see. But I am excited to play more of this. And see what else is different. See if we can make other choices. Because, like, already I've noticed a number of differences. Which is really exciting. And I'm curious as to what else can change. How drastically the endings can be. Or how drastically different the endings can be. 90 mode. My arm, yeah. My arm's being bad again. It's like, so it's not fine when I wake up, but it has progressively been getting better in the mornings. Like, every morning that I wake up, it feels better than it had been.
How are you,
I'm fine.
But then just, like, as I go through the day
Why?
and I use it and stuff, it gets angry. So I think it's getting better.
Whoa, wait, did you
Please
feel
don't
like
punch my arm.
I don't know, a brain earthquake or something?
Brain
No,
earthquake?
I feel kind of weird too.
Okay, we can go to Fort Milner, or... Okay, it doesn't list the anomalies yet. Do I have to find them first for them to register as anomalies? I'm going down here because I know there's a little rock. I mean, same pretty. Listen. Usually same. I was threatening to cut your internet earlier.
The island is famously named after Colonel Caleb Edwards for his...
Okay, we've heard this one. Is that... It does unlock the anomalies now. Okay. Good to know. I have not tried punching my own arm. I don't think it would help, though. It might, though. I mean, we could try. Nothing wrong with trying. I don't know if there... I did say the next playthrough I would try and find all the anomalies. So this is kind of me searching for all the anomalies. I think we'll try and find them all this time. I don't necessarily mind taking my time with this playthrough. Punch on arm, scream at own ass. This sounds like a great way to handle to handle my problems. When in doubt, scream it own ass. You want to comment on the statue?
I guess it's for the sentries they stationed here during the war. Hey, I don't know if you noticed when we were home, but you can see the statue from my bedroom.
It's pretty cool. Also, Devo is so dang content here on my lap. I wonder if, since we're going for Clarissa first, if she's gonna get, like, possessed faster? I wanted to go to Fort Milner, thank you. And if it, like, skips us checking in on Ren? Because we don't necessarily know how to, like, address the possession issue just yet.
What is that?
Can anyone hear me? Anybody?
Clarissa?
I don't know.
Damn it, is this thing working? If anybody can hear me, I'm at Fort Milner in the, I think in the gym or something.
Well, she's around here somewhere.
Also, thank you,
I was
Travis, for the
worried,
contribution.
honestly, that she, might have left.
She sounded weird. Like, not just staticky weird.
It could be the system, or whatever, just the equipment making her sound deformed.
Whoa!
Didn't we... Wait, huh?
Huh?
Excuse
Ren
you.
said something about Fort Milner being decommissioned, right? But, and hear me out, what if it isn't?
I wanted to get that anomaly.
Hold up. This weird, like, thing is still happening? We're like... I don't even know how to explain it.
Huh. Okay, I'll, keep an eye out for it. What if they just said it was decommissioned, and there's, like, still people, like, in there, like, doing stuff?
I think if they had alien autopsies or whatever you're suggesting is happening in there, we'd have been taken out by snipers about 50 paces back.
Maybe. But listen, like, what if all the stuff that's, like, happened to us, the stuff we've been seeing, is, like, the direct result of some government secret project?
We really haven't
Like,
seen that much,
what if there's some,
honestly.
Experimental, program or something?
Sure. I mean, I'm kind of in no place to toss aside any reason for what's been going on, so yeah, it's the government. Let's go with that.
It's just my going premise right now, so I don't know, keep a tally.
Spooky.
Yeah.
You ever fired a gun?
No, never really wanted to either.
Yeah, me neither. My grandfather had a snub-nosed Centennial. Even small, they're heavy. I never liked it.
It's just my going premise right now, so...
Radio waves travel forever until it is absorbed by matter or a person.
Okay. There's a lot going on there. Yeah, they're getting ready to graduate, I think. I think they're like juniors and seniors. I believe. That's locked. I mean, you take the voice actors you can get.
That's a very serious sign. Restricted, keep out. Well, they're not messing around. Does the fine print say?
Don't worry about it. Kids do this all the time. The worst that happens is you snag yourself on a nail or something and have to go get a tetanus shot.
Not a tetanus shot.
That light. For some reason, it reminds me of the cave.
I'd rather they not pretend to be children, because that just ends up sounding more ridiculous. Honestly. Where is it? Oh, wait, I don't have to do this just yet, do I? Oopsies. Oopsies! I'm skipping steps. It's fine. Hello, Devo. Sorry, this kid keeps bending his head down and just tucking his face up against my arm. He's very cute. Evo, my foot is falling asleep though. I need you to know that the way that you're sitting on me kinda sucks.
It's like it's not locked. There's like something blocking it. Clarissa!
She wouldn't have barricaded herself inside, right? What do you think? Keep looking?
I think she's here.
Really? I mean, the door could be blocked by anything. It could have been blocked before she even got here, right? I don't know.
I don't know. I just have a hunch about this one. The rest are too... like, I don't know. Too locked. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't, but... Okay, let's find a way in, I guess.
Can I activate it from here? No, I'm too far away. Alright, I understand. Can you sit down? Please? Either sit down or get down. Okay. You hopping down? No, you're laying down this way now. Okay. I understand. Evo says, I do what I want. I lay how I wish. My sweet, sweet lad. Hello. Where is the frequency to make the light explode? Here?
Dinner time. It's never too late to make dessert. Not anymore.
What the hell is this?
Do you want to play a game?
This is fine.
Alright, I know the answer's no, but we kind of do have to find Clarissa, so let's just ignore the question and thank...
Sure.
Okay, you gotta hop down, buddy. Go on, get out of here. Goodbye, Devo. I need to be able to feel my foot, please. Ugh. Let's go to the facilities. Let's do quiz? Let's do the quiz, and then we'll end.
Oh, no, 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 no. Don't be locked. Come on.
Could have guessed that would happen.
Well, Clarissa got in through some other door, so we should be fine, hypothetically speaking. Speaking of which, she dated Michael? Is that right?
Hey, it was his life, you know, not mine. He could do whatever he wanted. I didn't mean to put it like...
Yeah, I got it. I mean, was he the type of guy
Get home safely, Ami.
Like, sort of thing?
I'll see you later.
I'm just trying to picture it.
What sort of thing? What do you mean?
You know, like, intense, I guess is the word I'm trying to find. I mean, just from what I've heard of him, like that one story about the cops just straight buying him a beer. Just what would a guy like that see in her? Like, at least at the start, there must have been something, right?
Look, Jonas. Girls go for assholes and
Oops,
guys go for
I didn't mean to say that
Can
about
you
her.
imagine
It's fine.
sleeping here?
I'm trying not to. But why would the construction guys leave the bed frames?
Whoa.
Seems kind of morbid.
If they would have ever finished the museum, it would have been for show. It would have felt more authentic or whatever, but doesn't matter now. Stuff like this, I always thought it was pretty. Kind of like, I don't know, kind of like the buildings being reclaimed by the trees and the soot and the soil, you know?
Well, right now it just looks like scary tentacles, so...
In the daytime, this is pretty much skater mecca.
I can tell.
It's over here.
It's got a padlock. You can't pick this one, can you?
No, we'd need like bolt cutters or something.
Or the code.
Okay.
Hey, that's... Clarissa!
Don't just leave me here, Jonas! Wait!
Who's gonna tell us the thing this time?
Jonas, what happened? Are you alright? Jonas, are Are you okay in there?
No spooky mirror. There's a spooky ghost outside, though. Please, spooky ghost.
Testing. Okay. I can't hear anything outside at all, but luckily this radio thing's working. Look, whatever. Clarissa's not in
I
here.
appreciate that, like, the visual distortions that they do.
And then second of all, I can't get
like, they're jarring, but they're not nearly as bad
The door opened like a second ago.
as some games that do, like, visual distortion.
Just not turning the knob the right way, or
I can't hear anything outside at all, but there's just a really weird lock here. Does anything out there explain what this is?
Cassandra?
Jonas, if you're still there, this would be a great time to say something.
Let Jonas talk to his mom.
When Jonas gets on your case about his mom, just do what you feel is best, okay? What is this? What is this? What does this mean? Who are you?
They're more prevalent, definitely. I don't know, it feels like...
I'm okay.
Having played my fair share of horror games with bad visual distortion, it's jarring enough that you're like, ooh, spooky, but it's not so much like, God, my brain hurts.
Okay, what just happened? Because that sucked.
Are you okay? A little shaken up?
Well, we blew past nap time a while ago, but yeah, I'm actually better than fine.
Oh?
Oh, here's the code for the padlock. 3418. It's on a list of... Huh. They call codes cookies. Is that slang or something?
I don't know, but we got the combo, so great.
I have played some games that do it very bad.
Did you see that? In the mirror? The reflection was weird.
Don't think I'm nuts or anything, but my reflection
Not
kind
the
of
sewer game.
Advice that made absolutely no sense when you were stuck just now. So
it was so bad.
I'm gonna take a picture, see if the flash will make something happen.
Do it.
Okay. Make it snappy. Get it?
I'm choosing not to get it.
Aha! I don't think there's anything upstairs that we can look at, so let's not. I can interact with this poster now, though.
Radio locks. The technology here has always been... It's like primitive and from the future.
Yeah, no, it's something.
Jonas, you good? Good, bud? Okay, let's enter the code.
3, 4, 18, and voila.
Who's that?
What?
Maybe it wasn't anything. I'm just gonna pretend it didn't happen, so let's just carry on.
You good, buddy? Let's go. Spooky photo. Spooky photo. Spooky photo.
Oh, gonna hate to go out in that. So actually, before we press on, I've had to go pee for like a while now, so since we're stuck anyway, I thought...
Oh my god, go in the corner then.
I'm sorry. I know this is like way too much too soon for us right now, but I'm gonna totally explode.
Not me staring at him.
I'll
Oh
force
no.
it out fast.
This is... If the night needed a capper, this is it. Right here. My vagrant new stepbrother. Peeing on a rat.
Don't look at me.
I'm not looking at you.
I know the acoustics are really carrying it. Sorry.
You good? Okay. Imagine being able to pee anywhere.
Clarissa! That was definitely her. What is she? Is this just like a game to her or something?
Clarissa, come back. We came to help you. Don't... Ugh.
Hello? Is this... God, is this...
Hi, Devo.
Is this going out, or... Wait, I can hear myself. That's not...
Man, maybe
God,
she didn't see
anybody...
us. I don't know, but whatever. She still has a radio, so we still gotta get to her.
What? What?
Charlie 6. Every individual it is maintained is enveloped in a radiance invisible to the carnal eye and only perceived by the soul accustomed to it.
Okay. Let's go in. Let's go in. We gotta do the little test.
The handprints are a macabre touch.
Do you know who did that? Please tell me it's like a known thing teenagers here do or something.
Clearly, it's the evil, obviously. First they finger paint, then they wear our lungs like scarves.
Yeah, well, somebody's got to keep the traditions alive. What was that? You heard that, right?
Something just fell. Relax. I'm sure a bird landed on a piece of loose masonry or something.
Probably.
Should have said it was the evil again.
High in the Cascade Mountains of Washington, the Navy opens the world's largest radio transmitter. Its 1 million watts can flash a message around the world in a tenth of a second. Hey, kids, want to play a game?
They're talking about... It's talking about the Navy?
Hangman?
Be sharp and listen, mister.
We're gonna get this all right this time.
The classification board a lot about what can be expected of you in the future.
Sounds like they're in Washington.
How many questions will you be able to get in the allotted
Call
time?
it an educated guess.
Like a test?
This isn't how you play Hangman.
Here's a simple one to start, so don't hold your breath. What is the name of the school you are standing in?
RCS.
We're standing in. Isn't this
9.
U.S. Army RCS.
U.S. Army Radio Communications School.
That's the stuff, Charlie. Now you're swinging.